Think about this for a second. This is one thing that has not been brought up at all. And Key and Jay, you tell me which was more bizarre, the entry of Wentz or the exit of Wentz. Think all the way back to 2016. They draft Carson Wentz. Do you guys remember what happened the weekend before the season started that year? Carson Wentz is ready to go. Sam Bradford at that time is your number one. Chase Daniel's your number two. And everybody was saying that essentially, look, Carson Wentz is probably going to be the 3. He may not even be active on some game days. We're just going to take it slow, but this is definitely our guy. What happened the weekend before the season? They traded out of nowhere Sam Bradford to the Minnesota Vikings. Why did that happen? Because Teddy Bridgewater went down in Minnesota with a horrific injury. Mm-hmm. And the weekend before the season, you don't ever see this in the NFL. The weekend before the season started, the Eagles traded their starting quarterback the weekend before it started to the Minnesota Vikings. At that moment, Carson Wentz was geese hunting in New Jersey. Jay, I've never went geese hunting. You grew up in Jersey. I've never been geese hunting.
I didn't know you could go geese hunting in
Southern Jersey, very rural.
Really? That's a thing?
Yeah, down there. So he's geese hunting like he's in North Dakota. He gets the call. You're QB1. We just traded.
Yeah,
Sam Bradford.
What did they get, a 1 for Stafford?
Yeah.
I mean, for Bradford?
Yeah, a couple ones, yeah. So it was a pretty good deal.
That was a bonehead deal,
right.
though.
And Matt, and Sam's out of the league. He's always been injured. But my point there is that's how Wentz became the starter. Odd set of circumstances. Trade the starter. Boom, you're the guy. As Key said, started 3-0, didn't throw a pick till his 4th game. Weird way to get in. Was it weirder the way it all ended?
Well, he got drafted 2 overall, so you assume that he was going to wind up being a starter at some point throughout the course of the season. It was weird the way it ended because I assumed, like many, that once Doug Pederson was fired and they brought in a new head coach, that the reason that they did that was to try to, bridge the gap, meet in the middle, something along the lines with Carson Wentz. And then all of a sudden he becomes trade bait. I didn't expect that at all. And I don't know if he did early on. When they probably made the initial firing, I don't think that he looked at it and said, he probably looked at it and was like, oh, God, they got rid of this guy. Thank God. And then all of a sudden his name surfaces as a possible trade destination, and it became the Indianapolis Colts, and now he's on the move.
Jay, what's his legacy? He did say over the weekend, thank the fans. We won a Super Bowl, which he was largely responsible for a regular season brilliance in 2017. What's his legacy in Philly now that it's all done?
He's a Super Bowl champion. Will he be remembered as a closer? No, that's Nick Foles, and there's a statue outside their stadium that proves that. But he was the reason why they got the number 1 seed, right? If he doesn't play that well, they're never in that position to begin with. But I think more importantly, he will be a bystander of an organizational failure of monumental proportions.
One thing
That's what I think the legacy is for him.
I would totally agree with you. They don't get there without him. They needed him both to get there, and it's amazing that they brought them both back the following year, and they needed, remember, Foles the following year to get through in the double doink playoff game. One thing that's important to note is why did they make the move at this particular point? Sal Paolantonio has come on the show. He came on last week and said, listen, from the moment the season ended, you knew Wentz was gone. Sal didn't think they were going to be able to get a first-round pick. But remember, once the league year commences on March 17th, they owed Carson Wentz his base salary plus a $10 million roster bonus. So they had to make the move because there was no way they were going to pay him that salary and the $10 million on the 17th. That speeds up the deadline.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.